there's leaked photos of The Last of Us HBO show on the internet, and we bring this up every time. We don't ever want to be spoiled on something, but we've been so spoiled on the game already that it doesn't matter if you're spoiled on the show, as far as I'm concerned.
And I assume they're going to go in different directions, do different things. So I've already gotten a great story. They change it up, and I know about it. I don't really care because it's not like since they're not going to be telling the exact same story. I've already seen the greatest story they can tell me, so I'm not going to be hurt that I've been spoiled.
Yeah, The Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2, yes.
Yeah. The information that we know, this is a big spoiler discussion.
Yeah, don't watch if you haven't played.
What we know about the show, this is even if you just don't want the show spoiled. Neil Druckmann has told us stuff. The HBO has told us stuff. What we know so far is that season 1 is game 1.
The whole game is season 1.
Apparently. That's the word. So what we've already seen is, at least from behind the scenes stuff, is that the filming has caught up to the location of the Capitol in Boston, where they get there. That's as far as Tessa's character goes.
Yeah.
So in those photos, which we're going to totally spoil in case you haven't seen them, we have Pascal as Joel officially.
Oh, phenomenal.
And for a while, all we were seeing was them from behind. So finally got like
what felt like the game.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Really good reveal. And we finally got Joel from the front, look of his face.
Full frontal.
Full Pascal toll. And he is, like we guessed before on a previous thing we recorded, which I don't know if we've released. We've said this before, that Pascal is going to be Joel. There won't be any other Joel after this. This is going to be the Joel that the world knows.
It's like Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yes, he's Hugh Jackman now. And eventually someone might take over if the MCU does that for sure. Yeah. So this is Joel now. Everyone's going to have to get used to Pascal as Joel. But that also means we have a new Ellie. And a lot of people freaked out when they saw, I think her name's Bella Ramsey.
I was one. Yeah.
You were one. But it's a lot like what folks were probably doing when Game of Thrones was announced. We weren't fans until well into the show, and then we became book losers after that. So people were probably upset about Ned Stark, the way he looks. He's older. He doesn't exactly have Stark features. Yeah, everyone's a little older. It's a little different. But this isn't, in The Last of Us, it's not so different that it's going to change things. Joel has Hispanic heritage. That doesn't matter. He's from Texas. That's fine.
Yeah, the race didn't matter with the characters.
As far as changes, have you seen that Joel has an AR?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole game, it's a lot more sneaking and limited ammo, single fire weapons.
Yeah.
Small magazines, so it makes it more fear, more of a risk.
It's better for a game.
It's better for a game, but in a show, do you really want? I mean, I do. But do people really want a guy creeping around behind stuff 90% of the time? Or they want him with 20 clickers running at him spraying?
Yeah. I hope they go easy on the clickers, because that's their big deal. He has a semi-automatic weapon, I'm assuming, or it could be automatic. But anyway, he has a weapon that is a standard for military. And if it's semi-automatic, that's civilian weapon. And that's something that they really should have had in the first game. The newest pictures are showing them walking through destroyed cities, but we finally got a facing us Ellie. Have you seen that picture?
No.
Okay, it's good.
Should I pull it up and look at it?
Yeah, go ahead. Pull it up. Bella Ramsey she's a Scottish or some kind of English or something. She's from the island. She is, I think, a good actor. People complain about some of the stuff she did in Thrones, but she was working with two showrunners who weren't her hardly considered writers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that the image right there?
No.
Oh.
That's absolutely not the image. That's someone's fan image from years ago. I should pull that one up right now.
Yeah. I'm like,
you're getting goofed. Next, you're going to see Jamie as Joel and be like, oh my God, they made him look like Joel. There was a while where you and I were discussing how are they going to converge. But will you give me that? You keep, like, that's from Logan. You're not even on Insta or Twitter.
This is why he runs the show and I'm the clown who sits on this side.
Where's our leaks?
If I had an iPhone, I could have done a better job.
Oh my God, there's new video of them actually walking next to each other. Oh, she's so Ellie. And she's like, the way she's moving, like she's doing like a dance with her feet. I'm on to push play. Wow. I'm on board.
Mannerisms alone, like,
and his Joel move is just very almost stoic, but turny and swivelly and keeping an eye on things.
They got me hyped.
Yeah. Wow. I just got so much more hype from just seeing those images right now.
Do we have any inkling of a release date for this show?
My guess is March.
March is great.
That'd be fine, but it could be next summer. They're shooting.
Viewing party at my house.
Yeah, exactly. Your new house, yeah. They're shooting that and House of the Dragon. So I wonder if those are going to be stay tuned after The Last of Us for House of the Dragon, or if they're going to do that the other way. The problem is people's reception of the end of Game of Thrones was negative. So they might have to spice you up with The Last of Us. But people are more familiar with the dragon thing.
Are they going to run them at the same time, or is it going to be like, well, here's our big 2 shows. Let's run one show season, and then we'll run House of the Dragon.
It might be
afterwards, like, entirely separated.
I forget
on the same week.
It's HBO Max, right? I totally.
That's how everybody's gonna watch it.
I totally.
Hardly anybody's watching on HBO.
So it's Sunday, House of the Dragon, which looks like to me it's gonna be significantly better, and then Wednesday is Last of Us, and then trade off, or it makes more sense to do one than the other. But they're filming at the same time. House of the Dragon looks like it's been filming longer, though.
They're both. I think House of the Dragon is going to need more post-production time for CGI, dragons, things like that. So they could release after.
There's like over 30 dragons alive at that time period.
And they're doing for The Last of Us in the leak pictures. I've seen like you see cars wrapped in vines, and like when they're bright in the daylight, not like camera work going, it's like it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But then there's other shots. I'm like, ooh, that bus looks fucked up.
Speaking of visual effects, there will be some. Like significant amount, obviously, because they can only do so much. But I saw what looks like the courthouse or another building where the vines go up 20, 30 feet, then they stop, and then it's just normal building. So they're going to like fill in the rest or whatever with CG. This is going to be really cool to just see this kind of thing on screen. Finally, I've been waiting since when I first played the game. I probably played it 2014 or 15.
Yeah, so you played before I did.
A little bit after it came out, but you did a lot later than it came out.
I thought I played in like 2013, which is like when it came out, and that's not true at all.
According to the math, you played it probably a year and a half before the second one came out, right?
Yeah.
So that's fine. It's good. We got into the Ice and Fire books in season 6 of the Thrones show. So
probably. I think I saw Daggers in the Dark happen, and then I started reading. Or no, I was reading before that. In my hype for this, it's going to be, I feel like watching the first episode or 2 or whatever, the whole season, is going to be the same feeling I got when I watched the first episode of The Walking Dead. And I was like, holy shit, somebody pulled it off. They finally did an apocalypse that looks fucking good. And they did. That first episode of Walking Dead still stands to me as like one of the greatest, visually, one of the greatest zombie things I've ever seen.
Frank Darabont is a really good director, and we were reading The Walking Dead. You got us into it. We were in high school reading it, and it was just like you read through a couple issue or trades. I just was handing them off to friends at high school or whatever. And there's some weird stuff in there that it's like I probably shouldn't have been handing that out at school. Someone reacted to that Michonne thing and came back, and he was like, "Whoa, that was crazy! Like, don't scream that out loud. Someone's gonna take that out of context." The Walking Dead came out, and it was good, and then really bad.
Don't do that to us again. Just like Thrones.
It's gonna
third time.
How's it gonna be? Are they gonna do one season as game 1, and then we've talked about this before? Of do they do filler stuff before book 2, or they just roll right into it?
Book 2, game 2,
game 2.
Ooh, I feel like you can't roll into it because you need an older Ellie. You need, unless they recast, which
I hope they don't.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just take a break. They've done that. Sopranos took a break. I think that was for contract reasons, but who knows? So.
There could be filler. There could be seasons that took place before the initial story. I'm okay with that. Go back and show us some bad Joel. But then you want people to like him for when you get to the season that's going to be game 2.
You do, but part of the reason why people got pissed off and upset is they kind of forgot about how bad Joel was, or they had forgiven him already, which is the whole idea of game 2 kind of, and guilt. I'm excited for this. those images, just that alone.
Oh yeah,
Tess, Ellie, and Joel. I don't know. I'm way too excited for it. Like I hope it's at least as good as the beginning of Walking Dead episode 1 at least.
Yeah, because there was some bad stuff in that first season, but that first episode was just solid.
Neil Druckmann is directing some of this.
It's gonna be great.
He has 1 episode, and I hope it's finale.
And I hope it's first and last. That first episode, you gotta get in there, kick it in hard.
Well, they have other established directors, but like just him, it would just feel like it. Like when you see Abby at book 2, spoilers. Abby when she's
Game 2 spoilers.
Game 2 spoilers. When she's getting hanged.
Oh,
that man can direct.
Me and my wife are possibly getting a French bulldog.
What? Why am I just now hearing this?
I waited because of this.
Okay.
But it's related to my sister-in-law's one. You saw it here today, and it's all jacked.
That was
yeah,
those dogs.
So if we get it, I told her right away. Its name's Abby. She's like, why is his name Abby? And I pulled up pictures of Abby being hung. And like, look at this jack chick. Like
Abby being hung. So it's the boat scene,
huh? Yeah. But I was like, this is why. And she was into the last one. She's gonna love the show because she was watching me play through the game the first time I was playing. She was, and then she wasn't there when I was like, I want to play this fucking game. I'm playing it. And so she doesn't have any of this story.
Goodness.
Now, I don't know if I should just wait, have her watch the show, or if I should.
I think you should
get into a playthrough again and have her watch.
Because
she works so much, I'd never have the opportunity to
picture. She got really into it. This is all fantasy land because I don't know. Yeah. She got into the first game, and like maybe she watches you play through it or whatever, and then that's how she gets into it. And she's like, "Wow, that was really cool." And you're like, "The sequel." Do you think there's ever a world where you have her play the second game?
Ooh,
even in
play
increments.
Some Call of Duty here and there, but I don't know if she would do that. Especially single player, she likes to play games with me.
Okay.
But I don't know if she would just play it on her own. It would be amazing to see her like play through the last one.
Just to have her experience the original story.
She would get to Joel and be like, "Fuck this."
Griddles and I think we had the same reaction when we get to that moment as each other. Like we get there. And it's so early in the game, we knew right away. We see his head get pounded in, and we go, this is a inciting incident.
Yeah.
And we see Ellie's face, and we go, ooh, this is
a revenge story.
No. We just think this is juicy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ooh, because the first game was travel adventure story, but not really. By the end, it's make a morally gray decision story. This is revenge story. So me and Griddles go, that's not it.
Yeah.
We see get his head caved in, and then every line out of Ellie's mouth in the whole second game is like, without any information, criticizing people and decisions that everyone else is making. So it's clearly like she's not looking inward. And so the question then is, the audience needs to look inside her and see that she's the problem, or a lot of the problem is coming from within her. So I don't remember why
you're just bashing Ellie.
I am. Well, I love Ellie as a character. She's great, and I think the end of the game, the second game, that's her at her peak as good character, because it's like she can go anywhere from here and do anything. It's a good, uplifting ending.
Except play guitar.
This way. Maybe she'll do it. That's the whole idea, is to change your perspective or flip.
Oh, she becomes a lefty.
I don't know. Maybe she's
ambidextrous.
I can never say that. I can't even try.
I know people who play guitar, like a left-handed guitar, right-handed, and still play the same shit, flip it back and forth, and like play upside down. Like, fuck
play
you.
Upside down. This one?
No, not the Atreyu.
This show. Are we going back to the show? We probably should, right?
We probably should. I just have a lot of hype. There's not a lot to say with what we've seen. It looks like they're staying pretty authentic and pretty true. Even the courthouse steps or Capitol steps that we saw looked pretty similar to the right building. And the fact that in the games, they made the places true to what exists.
Yes, yeah.
So they're going to have the locations exist. It's not like they have to recreate, like with making Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
These places don't exist, so let's go out in Europe,
it's such a benefit,
and make it look like it. These places fucking exist,
and they have HBO money.
They got HBO money.
They have Pedro Pascal money.
Yeah.
So
after he was just in like one of the biggest series for Disney Plus.
Yeah. So here's the question: is this an off-season thing that he's doing because Joel, spoilers, only lives so long? Does he know I'm doing a season and then 5 scenes? Is that what's happening? Like, he's the Ned Stark of this show.
Yeah.
Season 1 could end with Joel being murdered.
They pull that in.
They could.
I already feel like there's so much story to tell that's like, you're telling all that in a season, just like with Game of Thrones. You burn through the source material too quick, but Druckmann's there.
But George was there. But Druckmann is literally
running the show.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
And didn't Druckmann say, like, as soon as he finished Game 1, Game 2 is already in his head?
It was
pretty close.
They did like a live show, which was like a music performance, and like they added a new scene. It's basically the prologue. Yeah. And that night, apparently, he told Troy Baker what it was. I think it was an award thing had happened too, or something.
Yeah.
And so that night, he told Troy Baker his idea for it or whatever, which apparently changed a little bit. But stories always change.
By the time he finished Game 2, he could already had Game 3 in his head, which is Season 3, Season 4, whatever.
I think he probably knows what Game 3 is. In my mind, we've said this too, is that Game 3 is the coming together, like it's the build everyone back up game. It's bad example, but it's the Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Where I can see,
if it was Return of the Jedi, Game 2 should have ended like the first of 5 endings we thought. And then Game 3 would start with her rescuing
Abby. Yeah.
Just like Jedi. She finds Abby frozen in carbonite. That Abby at the end, like, see that character so broken down and still whooping Ellie's ass.
Yeah.
Though Ellie won the fight, she...
Yeah, she did. She had a knife.
Yeah.
What's her name was out in the sun for days. Of course, Ellie's not eating. She's emaciated. She just came from Wyoming.
Yeah. I wonder if there was something to I believe it's Samson, biblically, who had the hair, and they cut off his hair, he loses his power and his strength.
Oh.
And when Abby has her hair cut off, she's not as strong now.
Well, there's all the Jonah and the Whale and Moby Dick references in the game, so I wouldn't be surprised. But
Abby's also Ellie's Moby Dick.
Yeah. She's
like the obvious surface layer things.
Yeah. And Druckmann is Israeli, so maybe he has some of that in his culture, or in the back of his mindset or something. I don't know. He's a great storyteller, great director. I've seen people already criticize him behind the scenes or on the internet about game directing and film directing are different things, and I totally is, because motion capture, you can change what you've done at any second. But the man was not born yesterday. He's really good at directing actors. Just watch the behind the scenes of Game 1. Yeah. He's so good he knows what he's doing.
And he didn't make 2 games. He made 2 movies already.
Yeah.
Those are fucking movies.
Exactly. He at this point, he's experienced. And when you have the set and the location and the actors, he's not going to be able to not bring up gold. I think he's going to do his thing well. As long as the scripts are good, I think it will be good.
In shooting for TV, I know they don't allow for as many takes usually, but I feel like he's the guy. Another take. It's digital film anyway. Who cares? Go.
Yeah, exactly. Digital. They're going digital, so I hope they're going digital. The Walking Dead was filmed for a while, 16 mil.
Yeah, how good would it look on film though? I love the look of film.
It looks good.
Does like Tarantino and shoots it like.
Well, some people, when film is going, that they prefer that. They know it's important. They know it's expensive. They know that this is the night when you start rolling that film. Mm-hmm. So some people, maybe Pascal is one of them. Film's going through the camera and he gives you the Emmy Oscar moment. He just. Who gave the order? He's great. I think Bella Ramsey's great. Everyone I've seen on board is great. The guy who played Tommy in the game has a different role in the show.
Oh, he's in it though.
Marlene is back as Marlene. Like, this is going to be interesting.
What's the guy who voices Joel?
Troy Baker.
Is he not in it?
I don't think he's in it, but I would like to see him play Jerry, the doctor, so that Joel kills Joel. And so people who are still confused about it will have even more
little twist.
Yeah, like, oh, how do you feel now?
Even if he just plays like a marauder at one point that he kills.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with that.
He could play like,
what if he plays the creepy fuck that's gonna eat Ellie?
I was thinking about that. James. He could also play like an older Owen.
Ooh. he is a good looking dude.
Yeah, he's not
just
bad.
Like Owen.
So probably March or later is my guess, but we could be surprised and see it sooner.
I'm going to go ahead and say here at the Shield Hall Studios, we rank things.
Stop.
And I put it as a masterpiece. before we even go in. Just throwing it out.
Okay, you're gonna ruin the show for yourself. You're gonna have your expectations. I know you're joking, but like your expectations might be too high.
They already fucking are, but it looks like they're meeting my expectations.
I agree. Mine are way too high as well. So who knows what's gonna happen? We're gonna fanboy out, and then we're gonna get there, and the throne's gonna be like this big. Like, what? The throne's not even the right size. And
Ellie's 33. What the fuck is this shit? They leaked all those images to fuck with us. How much of it could be that too?
I don't think so. It's just impossible not to let something out.
Yeah. I had a friend who was on a TV set, and he'd put his phone in his pocket and record out of it and show me video of like main characters dying in it, some cop drama. It wasn't like SVU, but it was.
Oh, so it was like a good episode.
Good things were happening.
Yeah.
Druckmann, don't fail us.
There was a thing before the Star Wars sequels came out. It was in JJ we believe, or in JJ we trust.
Yes.
And now people might do in Neil Druckmann we trust. I just hope it's a good show.
Yeah, I'm glad his name doesn't start with a D other than Druckmann. So, Dave and Dan.
Oh, you're right, D&D. Oh no.